What's good, lovely people? Welcome to another episode of Den Devine Sessions. This is recorded live from Den Devine, a music venue right here in Broadbeach, Gold Coast, Australia. I'm your host, Joseph Brown, a musician, a creator, and a passionate advocate for all things music. With years of experience on the stage and behind the scenes, I'm here to bring you stories from the heart of the music industry. Whether you're an upcoming musician, a seasoned pro, or dedicated music fan, this podcast is for you. Let's get into the episode.
It's Den Devine time. Den Devine. Den Devine. Den Devine time.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Den Devine Sessions. We are here at the beautiful Den Devine in Broadbeach on the Gold Coast. It's a sunny day today, and while Dan was out the front of the venue, he heard the beautiful angelic voices of the Lemon Squeezy. I'm sure there was a few more of you, or was it just you four?
There was more people there. A lot more groups.
There?
Yeah.
The video I saw, the venue wasn't big enough to have you all in here. It's about right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and Dan done the obvious thing that he does, and he invited Lemon Squeezy from Stockholm here into the venue to have a discussion and talk about music, which is pretty awesome. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome. From left to right, even though it should be right to left because you're right next to me, but it's okay. We'll change it up. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Sam. I sing baritone in Lemon Squeezy. Also from... Yeah? You like my baritone voice? Yeah. Also, all of us are from Stockholm, Sweden. So happy to be here in Australia.
Awesome.
My name is Michael, and I sing the lead part, which is usually the melody in Barbershop.
Yeah. And I'm Martin Django. I sing bass. So it's divided like from bottom to top. It's bass, bari, lead. And we have Victor. I just introduce you as Victor.
Nice.
Is that okay? Yeah.
That's cool. I'm Victor Nilsson. I sing tenor, which is the top part. So a lot of falsetto and bird twittering.
Straight off the bat, I love harmonies. My culture's from New Zealand, and we do a lot of harmonies in our culture. And I want to just kick it off with, just for those who don't understand these different aspects, can you give us a little demonstration based on your, and then team it all up at the end? Sort of thing, like could be just a single melody or something that you can just pull out of nowhere from your baritone.
Sure.
Across.
We can cut this later, yeah?
Yeah.
Butterfly or something?
And it just has to be 10 seconds so people can hear you go.
Yeah.
If you say like baritone and then sing your part and then it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Bit of dry reading.
Oh.
I shouldn't have done this to you.
No, you're fine.
I feel like
We've got it.
you've got it.
Maybe the guys maybe explain how tags work and do a tag.
Yeah, that works.
There you go.
Do a tag. Now, I'm not familiar with Barbershop Boys style, so I've probably said
show
some
you again.
untechnical things.
Cool.
So much?
Here we are.
Yeah.
We sing it first.
Everyone? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, let's just do part by part, and then the whole.
So I'll begin by demonstrating the baritone part. Here we are again, falling back in love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this
And then what adds on to the baritone usually?
Yeah, so this is the lead part. This is the
Lead?
melody.
You got to sing it together. You got to sing it together.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it.
Here we are again, falling back in love.
Wow.
And, well, usually I sing bass, yeah. And
You're a bassy looking fella as well.
I am.
Yeah, you got a bass in your
in my appearance,
in your vibe.
Yeah, the laid back.
Yeah. Real, like, you know, bass
on top, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. On bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
naturally, yeah.
Lol.
Here we are again, falling back in love.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Really
Isn't
nice.
it lovely and quaint
Love
and
is all
Juicy.
Yeah, full is like a decadent, you know, like a nice dessert, you know.
Yeah.
Really, it's got it all going on. And then the final piece.
yeah, on bottom. Yeah.
On top.
Here we are again, falling back in love.
Wow.
Something like that.
Usually, like when
That's
we
the cherry on the top.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when that's really how we found it many years ago.
It's tripped over and went, wow.
Yeah. A friend of ours, so we met all in high school, and he'd stumbled across a Simpsons episode where they sang Barbershop, and we went to music school like the nerdy of the nerds, and it just started spreading like a disease in school. And we'd sneak away and sing these tags that are called like just like little bits of music that are usually like this 10, 15, 20 seconds long. And there are thousands upon thousands of them. And we just sneak away in hallways and sing them. And everybody would hate us for it because it was annoying, but we didn't
care.
a single damn.
I mean, it's a muso thing, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone hates you when you're at the beginning. But then you start developing,
all of
and
a
then
sudden
they go,
you're Taylor Swift,
That's
and you're
my
like,
friend.
Yeah,
That's a weird thing, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And so, how long have you guys been together as you for?
Well,
you
it's
guys know each other from
it's a little complicated.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, life happens and people come and go. But the gist of it is that we met in high school, and that was in 2009, and we formed the group in February of 2010.
Yeah. So we've been going on for 14 years.
14 years.
Originally it was me and Martin and two other guys, and these two have joined in a little bit later. But the group has been going on for 14 years.
Wow, so in the barbershop world, is it barbershop quartet? Is that that's the genre?
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
It's always 4 parts, so that's quartet really works for that.
Yeah, awesome. And so in the barbershop world, in 14 years, where does that take you guys? Like, obviously, you know, a folk singer is going to sing on the beach side. Everyone's got their place. Barbershop quartet, where do you find you perform a lot?
Well, a lot.
Not in Sweden is what.
Yeah, basically. But a lot of the barbershop community evolves around competition and contests. So every year in the United States, they have the World Championships of barbershop. So we have been going there for a lot of our 14 years of singing, been there to compete, and you qualify at your district. So wherever you're from, there's usually a barbershop competition locally to qualify you to go there. But otherwise, when we do gigs and shows, it's everything from like birthday parties to corporate events to actual shows in theaters, or a very common gig for a barbershop group is to like be a guest performer at a chorus event, for example. Like a chorus holds a concert or a show and they invite guest artists like this. So yeah,
wow,
sort of like that.
That's really awesome.
The best gigs are these. Like like there are different organizations around the world like that will send groups to internationals, which is the World Championship you're referring to. And we're here now for the BHA, the Barbershop Harmony Australia. event and festival that is happening this week. And so they host within this week, like their regional competitions, during which people qualify to go to internationals. And it's kind of customary to invite like an outside group. Usually, like this is not like set in stone, but custom is to invite like someone from the sort of top 3, or that placed really high last year or something like that, or like a past champion. And while we're not past champions, we are like in that top segment. And then you get to do cool stuff like this also. Yeah, it's super fun. And everybody within the barbershop community and a cappella community are the best people you'll come across. It's just a godsend, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no pressure, no like pride,
ego.
It's just joy and like the will to share in the music. And you can be a group of like a 90-year-old and a 6-year-old and someone there in between. We just form a group and start singing, and it's cool.
Do you like hope that barbershopping, this sort of quartet style, could start getting some, you know, mainstream attraction, or, you know, where everyone starts, because it's pretty niche, right? Like it's a niche.
It's very niche, yeah.
It's very,
And I think that's one problem, but it's also very important to, like, the niche is, like, you'd say it's a cappella, right? Because it is, but in order to be able to compete, you need to follow a certain set of rules, like a cadence and a certain amount of 7th chords, for instance.
Wow.
And while we love that, we also love the sort of slightly bigger circle that like is the a cappella world, which is growing. And barbershop has recently, it's been like kind of a divide between men and women. And since COVID, the world of barbershop has opened up to become mixed, and that has opened a tremendous amount
many doors.
Yeah, many doors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And while we're still just a male quartet, we highly encourage that, because it's a lot more inviting and like
would change the whole character of the sound as well, just having those.
Because it's been kind of restrictive in that sense. Like the Barbershop Harmony Society, which is the US organization that hosts internationals, it used to be an all-male organization, and that is excluding 50% of the world population, right? Yeah. So it's not excluding, but like, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
But rather, before, the women had their own organization, so it was just split between the men's organization and the women's organization, and now the BHS, as it's called, has invited women as well, which makes it a lot more fun for everyone, I think.
I personally haven't heard a woman or female quartet. I can't even register how that begins to sound in my head, especially when
a little higher, but same.
I can imagine, like, I could definitely imagine what it would sound like, but I do wonder, like, where they get their bass tones and stuff like this.
Yeah, it's definitely like a different. It is a different sound, because naturally, we have a very low bass here in Django, for example, that gives us a lot of like breadth in the sound, so it sounds very full, which can be more difficult for womenens quartet.
Yes,
but you should hear some of the female bassists. They sometimes sing lower than some of us.
Really?
That would be only you.
but I also think, since like the barbershop style is very much inspired by the music when it was developed, like early 1900s kind of music, and for a lot of time I think there's been mostly elderly people singing it because they relate to the music, and it's been harder for a younger generation, but that is about to change, and it is changing already. And I think we've been some small part of that change as well, being a young quartet coming up and scoring well at the internationals and this kind of thing. So nowadays we have a lot of more modern music and a lot of younger groups, and I think that attracts a bigger crowd as well. So,
and modernizing these sort of I guess older practices in the music industry is a really important part of showing a different dynamic of music culture. It's really nice that you guys are doing that, and not afraid to be like, wow, let's do it, let's give it a go. Which you guys, just that little example was amazing, and I can't wait to, I think after we have this our little conversation we'll do a song or two, and I'd love to hear some of that newer stuff, but also some of that older stuff, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so in your 14 years, going from the beginning when you guys first started out and to now, have you seen a massive shift? Has there anything, what has been a big thing where you've gone, wow, this is,
I mean, for us, when we were taught and brought into this by an American who himself helped like push the envelope back in the late 80s and early 90s, and they sang stuff that we today think are like the old songs, really. And that was really pushing the envelope then, and we loved that idea, and also felt like the need, like once you get into it, we also felt like, okay, where do we want to push things? And we did by like incorporating a lot more of like tippy-toey jazz, so to speak, like very moving, very scat oriented. And we were penalized for that, but the only way to get it forward is to do it. And then people were like, oh, hey, this is not that bad, sort of. And that's, I mean, it's been part of the fun of like
the disruption.
And the audience is usually, because you get points from judges. That's what, like, there's a panel sitting in front of the stage, like huge arenas over in the States. It's like big hockey arenas.
That must be scary.
Thousands of people
doing
4,000 or 5,000 people in the audience.
Yeah, and a lot of competition. Like I feel, it sort of originated there or something.
Yeah, it is
absolutely.
an American art form to begin with.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the big changes as well. That since we started, we weren't the first ones, but our friends called the Ringmasters, they were the first non-American group to actually win this internationals. So for
first men's, I should say.
Absolutely.
There are 4 ladies from Sweden who also won back in '89.
Sweden,
who will cut your head off if you say anything else.
But yeah, so it definitely has been dominated by the Americans, and now we're seeing more and more groups from all parts of the world that are coming in, and that's been a big shift and change, definitely.
Sure. And how about the I'm a musician. I know I'd like to make it all about the music, but obviously to get all the way over the other side of the world, there's obviously some business aspects. So in regards to that aspect, like have you found it quite difficult on the business side? Because it's not really like pop music's got its business formula, rock music's got its business formula. Like they can all share the same thing, but for you guys, like, have you, from the business aspect, has there been a lot of lessons for you guys, or do you just put,
I think, like, for now we have set out a goal to make this at least part-time job for us, and so we're really trying to figure it out, and we're have a lot of friends in the a cappella world that are doing the same, and some people make a good living out of it, but it's hard to do only this. And as far as market go and like the business side of it, there really isn't a lot of like management and this kind of thing. You kind of have to make your own market a little bit. So it's a bit of a struggle and hustle to get around.
But with Barbershop, it's easier, I'd say. Like if you're an a cappella group solely, whereas then I don't have first-hand experience, but as an a cappella Barbershop group, there are sort of, it's this pathway through like internationals, and if you do really well, there's a lot of hindrance that just falls because people, it's like a stage where people see you and we get invited, so we don't have to do all that kind of work ourselves, and then you can, if you're good, just build on that and get even better and that'll snowball.
That's true,
eventually.
but that's also one of the issues. We have to wait for an invitation. Like,
Yeah.
if we want to get out working and,
Yeah.
and create our own gigs, that's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty innovative.
Yeah.
Do you guys use a lot of social media? Like, do you do the TikTok trends? And
I mean, no,
'cause it's-
we've talked a lot about that. Like,
Well, I
how
mean,
much do we want to
maybe
follow a
should.
trend versus like how much
Should
do we
make a
want to
trend.
just?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Make it.
I mean, that's what we've arrived at.
Yeah.
Like, do we want to do like all these things that other people have constructed for us and sort of fit into that frame? But what we really arrive at is what we like to do is what we want to do, and that'll just have to sort it. Like, if it doesn't pop, it doesn't pop. If it does, great.
yeah, you want to look in the mirror at the end of it and still know you're still you.
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't
And
wanna be
like
that guy.
that's also like a thing because we're Swedish, and a lot of content out there is in English, of course, and that's a hurdle for us. But we just said like, hey, let's just do us, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Swedish are pretty good at getting into the world map, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is it the Dudesons? Is that them? They're like the Jackass version of the Swedish version of the Jackass? I don't know, anyway. They were
don't
huge.
recognize
Man.
no
They were
idea.
huge. Yeah. They
The
said-
Dudesons.
Yeah, I think they were called. I don't know. It could be wrong, but I remember the Swedish crew. There was only 3 or 4 of them. They were like a Jackass, but they were definitely Swedish, and they used to do crazy stunts. But they made it completely mainstream. You know, it's just from this little village in Sweden. You know, cool. So it's okay. But anyway, not that it's nothing to do with music, but it's just, you know, it's you guys are already over here. You get 14 years in the industry is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any?
We're like
yeah.
we're falling back to like because we don't only sing. Like, you're an engineer, Michael and I are studying, and you're the only one doing music full time, and we chose not to do this full time because we don't want to keep like we want to keep the fun in it.
the
Yeah,
love.
and the journeys that we do want to be, you know, we want them to be really fun and fresh, so it doesn't become like dreary.
Yeah.
And that's so important to keep the joy in it.
Yeah.
And we definitely have managed that. Like, we're nowhere close thinking this is something
Just
that
work.
Yeah. It's just a fun trip,
Yeah.
and we enjoy every second of it.
Yeah. You got to maintain that the love and passion. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think once you start doing it too much of a job,
Yeah, we've seen the fire die in people's eyes that we know
yeah,
that were used to be so hyped for singing, and now it's just like a job that I have to do, and you're like, that's my worst nightmare, man.
yeah, I can imagine. So over that 14 years, has there been any real special memories you guys have had? Like, even just one memory that's like, is it your first time on stage where you were like, wow, or that first?
No, that's the
US
memory you
show?
don't have, right? It's like the first time on stage. I just remember like
Yeah,
it's all black. It's just a black and a sine wave, like, ooh. And then you like, are we done? We good?
yeah. Like, was it going to America for the first time? Was that a big one?
No, I think the biggest one would probably be like it's summer of 23. That was what happened, Sam.
Yeah, so I joined the Quartet in 2018, January, and this summer, no, not this summer, last summer, summer 2023, it was the international competition in Louisville, Kentucky, America, and it was the first time for me on the big like international World Championship stage, and we managed to come second, and it was like well above any of our expectations, and it was like a dream come true, really. So that was my highlight. That is my highlight still to this day, and obviously being here in Australia.
In Australia,
Yeah, like it's a real privilege to be able to do this. We're enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, do you guys find that there's still a lot of growth in the barbershop quartet sort of industry? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like it's I feel like since COVID, first it was like scrap together what we have and see if there's still a thing, because people were so scattered and not used to being in big masses. And then sort of it's got back to, I feel, kind of normal. And now I feel like there's a huge uprise. And groups that previously couldn't, like we said, with like gender, couldn't compete before, and it's like the scene is sort of evolving more towards like it's I don't want to say like RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's like it's becoming more flavored and more like to the extremes.
Yeah.
And the groups are so diverse now that which I think is really exciting. It was very homogenous before, like always like 4 white men, and that can only be so fun. Honestly, like
It has its limits.
It has its limits, and the more diverse the groups are, like going to internationals now and watching the groups, like they'll be so different from each other, and that's a huge bonus. And that makes it like it could become like. What is it called? The F1
Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive. Like it's like you follow these groups and they're so different, and there's drama. There's a lot of drama, and it could become something completely different. And I think that's exciting right now. It's really exciting right now.
Yeah.
It's the only way forward, in my opinion. Like if barbershop is to really explode, which it honestly could.
Yeah.
That's the way forward, because like if you try to contain it too much, a few people are interested in that, but I'm done.
No, like I understand what you mean. There's like a lot of genres. It is a genre of music, and you can always see some things boil to the top. Like rock was big, and then hip hop came. Now hip hop's big. And then country music's now massive as now. So every genre has its day. And of course, you guys are here doing your part for the Barbershop Quartet, which is awesome. So for anyone who's listening, for people who may be aspiring, they don't know what they want to be in the music industry, do you guys have any advice for just that putting together a barbershop quartet? Like, do you have any advice that you could throw out to anyone?
If it's barbershop you want to do, or if you're interested in that, I think there's a lot of material on the internet for free, like Barbershop Harmony Society. They have their webpage, bhs.org, I think, and they just have tons of materials for you if you're trying it out, and also outreach to all the affiliate associations around the world and stuff. So depending on where you are in the world, there's usually an association nearby that you can connect to, and just find 3 other people and form a quartet and take it from there.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube and just roll your face at the keyboard. There's so many like cool clips and groups that are bound to inspire you, I think.
Yeah,
we're there all the time.
Yeah,
just like listen to this one.
How about you guys? What do you have any advice?
I was the same. Just indulge on the internet, especially on YouTube. I mean, that's how I got into barbershop for the first time, and still just I watch barbershop almost every day. I'd say maybe not every day.
Little junkie,
yeah. So me and Sam we sat in our hotel room just yesterday, just watching like a couple of hours of barbershop. So it still happens.
Getting my face.
Yeah, it still happens. I mean, so many years into this hobby, and you just still love it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of material out there.
I think that's the thing. What makes barbershop unique is that it's so nerdy, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like we've obviously been doing this for a long time, but we're still having so much fun. And if we're not having fun like singing together, we're having fun like enjoying other people singing and like laughing at that, or being like, oh, that's so cool. Like you can really do a lot of really cool and interesting things with just 4 voices. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think the appeal of barbershop, I don't think we've ever sung it in front of anyone and they haven't been like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's just the voices, and every human can relate to voices. And when you hear harmony, there's always something special about
Harmony
that.
is so special.
Yeah.
They really are. You know, and do you naturally, like, you know, I know this might sound like a dumb question if you're a musician listening or a singer, but anyway, if you're not, did you naturally fall into your like tenor bass? Were you like, I'm a bass player, or did you know, did you spend many years pretending you're a tenor and going,
No.
why can't I sing like this?
No, for us, we've gone through music school since we were little kids.
Yeah,
So very much just slotted into.
exactly.
Yeah,
You're natural.
we knew.
And with the voice, I mean, everyone can learn to pick up a guitar and play whatever, but with your voice, you kind of have a certain slot, right? Some
Yeah.
people are just natural basses and some people are natural in other places. But if you're there in the middle, like baritone or lead or somewhere there, like you can try around. And that's also something you do a lot in barbershops. When you sing like tags, you just, okay, let me try that on this part instead.
Yeah.
And you can switch around. And when we started the group, I was the lead singer, and I was for many years. And
Yeah.
now I sing tenor, so you can definitely switch around and try it out. But
To a certain degree, I
to
mean.
a certain degree, but I think you find by trying it out, you find kind of your
Sure.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys have got a busy time. I know you guys are only here. You've got to sing tonight. Is it soon or is it tomorrow? Or
The big show is tomorrow.
big shows tomorrow?
Yeah. But we've been singing a little bit every day since
Yeah.
we got here. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we won't hold you guys up for too long, and we're going to go into singing that song, singing a couple of songs that you guys can do, which will be awesome as. So before we sort of wrap this conversation up, just some nice quick questions for you guys. Do you guys play any instruments?
I play piano and
Piano?
a little bit of guitar.
I play the violin.
Violin?
Yeah.
Wow, bass player on the violin.
Yeah, boy.
I played the cello, but it
played the
was a
cello.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play anything, unfortunately.
You played baritone.
Yeah, I play the baritone. I play the weird baritone part.
For sure. And do you guys have a favorite artist or favorite quartet that you guys love outside of yourselves?
Yes, in barbershop or
Yeah, in barbershop. I know
yeah.
you might not be able to say this because they're your competition. But
No, that's fine. But I think for me, I'm a big fan of a quartet called Vocal Spectrum
Yeah.
and Crossroads. They're two big favorites of mine.
Awesome.
Yeah. Our good friends in Sweden, Ringmasters, are always a huge inspiration, have been through the years. Outside barbershop, like I listen to anything from dubstep to folk. Like it's all in between. That's a singer's thing, I think.
Yeah.
Just like whatever. If it's Mozart, great. If it's not, also great.
I'd say a quartet that I love is they're called After Hours, the American quartets. But otherwise, outside barbershop, it's same as Martin here. But I listen to a lot of Jacob Collier. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. And for me, I also loved Vocal Spectrum, one of the real greats of the barbershop industry.
Yeah.
Awesome. And after 14 years, do you have any, like what keeps you inspired and keeps you continue on this journey?
I think for me, it's like to keep reinventing yourself and not get stuck in doing the same thing, because that's what gets me bored and the passion goes down. So just keep trying new things, trying to reinvent yourself and just be inspired by others. That's for me.
Yeah, the same for sure. We naturally fell into jazz as a group, and we did a lot of jazz, and we were naturally good at it. But then we faced like, what do we do besides that? Like, do we only do this? And that becomes a kind of a what do you call it? Holistic kind of thought instead, and then you need to diversify, and that's so exciting. And the point is to not get stagnant and think that you've become as good as you can be. You can always improve and always learn, and that's my goal.
Yeah.
To never stop trying to get better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, as all musicians do, we all do consume a hell of a lot of music, and I mean that is at least for me, that is my huge inspiration. Just other musicians and other styles of music. So yeah, that's a huge inspiration.
For me, I guess I just love to sing with these guys. I'm just having so much fun being on tour and rehearsing every week. So yeah, as long as it's fun, I'm in for it.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming along and having a spontaneous conversation about the music industry and about Barbershop Quartet. You know, I hope we can play our part in lifting the profile up in Australia, and obviously you guys are already doing that, which is awesome. I appreciate you guys coming along and having a chat. What song do you think you guys would
I definitely think we should do
I think it'll be a country song.
no. Well, maybe
do AC/DC?
Perhaps country song, but also I think we should Hamilton it up too, if we're doing two.
Yeah, do two. Yeah, for sure.
It's like country has grown on us over the years, and so has musicals, and musicals fit really well into the barbershop style, and it's become more of when you're on competition stage and like the lights are on, you can take the audience on a journey, and it's a lot of humor involved, a lot of just it works really well.